They be tripping when they see a Christian, like we over religious and trying to bring conviction. They be waking up without a hope in sight. I turn to Christ on my darkest night. I ain't homophobic or anti-Semitic, so give me low credit for you give me edits. People see my faith in the cross as a loss, but I can't see me dying being superstitious. Yeah, and I ain't the picture of perfection. I lost my direction, I was smoking and drinking, but I ain't forgot the resurrection. Only source of hope for a man in my position.
I've been up all night, no running from it, trying to make it right, cause I've been up too high, trying to make it up.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
my heart and I'm head over heels in love in California. Dreaming, 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 yeah. Touching the stars and then dragging them down to earth like California. Feeling, feeling, feeling. Oh, now what you do? Your brown eyes tell the truth. Yeah, down on the beach, I'm staying out late for you. Oh, unlock your lips, see the sunset from the roof. Yeah, you got to me, and I came out someone new. Hey, yeah. And in my summer feelings, and I'm trying to keep it cool. Hey, here in my summer feelings, and I found a piece of me that I never knew.
I'm melting like ice cream. The stress is gone for me. Nowhere I'd rather be.
Hey, yeah. And in my summer feelings, and I'm trying to keep it cool.
Way here in my summer feeling, and I found a piece of me that I never knew.
Hey, yeah. And in my summer feelings, and I'm trying to keep it cool.
Way here in my summer feeling, and I found a piece of me that I never knew.
I know I might let you down every twice in a while, and I apologize. I get emotional sometimes, but I'll keep running with my best foot forward, 'cause the race to love is never over. I wanna be better for ya. You made me genuinely better. You opened my heart up. You got me back to love. Back to love. Let's get back to love. I know I lost it, now I wanna get it back. You know I wanna get it back. There's a light on the path, and now I found it. Here with you is where it's at. Now I'm never looking back. No, I'm never going back. I might get lost in a crowd every once in a while, but I found a way out. It gets stronger with time. You opened my heart up. You got me back to love. Back to love. Gonna get back to love. To how we used to be. I know I lost it, now I wanna get it back. You know I wanna get it back. There's a light on the path, and now I found it. Here with you is where it's at. Now I'm never looking back. No, I'm never going back. Had a good girl, but I ain't treat her right. I was up in a hub every night. Took a little help, but now I got it right. You opened my eyes up to see the light, but I'll keep running with my best foot forward, 'cause the race to love is never over. I wanna be better for ya. You made me genuinely better. You opened my heart up. You got me back to love.
but you're savage love. Did somebody break your heart? Looking like an angel, but you're savage love. When you kiss me, I know you don't get to, but I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love, love, love. You're savage love, love, love. You could use me, 'cause I still want that. Baby, I hope that this ain't karma, 'cause I get around. You wanna run it up, I wanna lock it down. Usually don't be falling fast. You got a way of making me spend up all my cash. Every night and every day, I try to make you stay, but you're savage love. Did somebody break your heart? Looking like an angel, but you're savage love. When you kiss me, I know you don't get to, but I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love, love, love. You're savage love, love, love. You could use me, 'cause I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love.
What is going on, MSLG? How you guys doing tonight? Oh, yeah. I'm super excited that you're here. If you're online with us right now, I'm super excited that you decided to tune in to be with us here at MSLG. But guess what? I got to tell you something that's going on. I got to tell you something that's happened. So, are you guys ready? I'm so excited to tell you. How you guys doing tonight? There's something, oh, yeah. There's something that has super excited that you're here. If you're online with us right now, I'm super excited that you decided to tune in. Are you ready to be with us here at MSLG? Ready for this type of news. Guess what? I got to tell you something that's going on. I got to tell you something that's happened. So, are you guys ready? I'm so excited that we've shared from stage all year so far. And here it is. Ready? It is that this past week, in the past 7 days, 3 students who go to MSLG, who sit in these chairs, 3 of them have been baptized. Can we give it up? Right? Come on. Let's go. Let's go. We've had 3 students get baptized as we've been going through our stretch series. And tonight I'm excited because we have Pastor Nokomis, or as you guys might know him, 6th grade boys small group leader, Nokomis. Yeah. 6th grade leader, small group leader, Nokomis Perez is going to be speaking tonight, preaching, wrapping up our stretch series. So here's the cool thing, is that like you guys have been being moved as the word's been preached. You guys have been hearing the messages and making a decision. God has been moving in this room, and he is not done. I know some of you guys have decisions that you're working through, that you're working on in your mind, and we still have one more night of this series, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do tonight. But with that said, we need some energy in this house, so this is what I need to do. I want us, it's the stretch series. We're all going to stand up. We're going to stretch a little bit, all right? And it's not going to be laid back stretch. It's going to be like, I'm going to get your heart rate up. You ready? Are you ready? So here, let's start doing this. Let's kind of run in place. You guys ready to run in place? Here we go. Run in place. Let's go to some jumping jacks. Whoa. Jumping jacks. There we go. Yeah. All right. What's the next one, Tara? Let's go jump up in the air like this. Go. Woo, woo. Oh, yeah. All right, here's what we got to do. This one is my favorite one. Ready? Can we do our arms? Shake our arms out a little bit. Oh, yeah. Bring our arms down all the way to the floor. Okay. And then bring them all the way back up. Oh. Then we're going to start a fist pump going low. Ready? Go low. Everybody go low. Fist pump. Here we go. Bringing it up. All right, now Tara's going to do a burpee. Ready? Can you guys do burpees? He's got a good one. All right, here's what we're going to do. Bring that energy to worship. So we're going to start off with a super awesome, great song. And Tara is going to lead us. So you guys ready? Let's get ready to worship.
All right, guys, if you would all stand up with us, and let's keep that same energy, if not more. I want to see everybody out there jumping. Can you do that tonight? Let's go. I was blind and broken, couldn't find my way. Then I met the healer. Now I'm forever changed as I call upon your name. You never fail to reach me every time. We sing this out. It's more than a feeling, more than a sign. I want your spirit at work in my life. This is the feeling, God in my life, freeing the captives and giving me sight. It's all true. It's all you. More than miracles to me. Jesus, my everything. Jump! All right, put your hands up. As your love is calling, lost are coming home. From the great horizon, you rolled away the storm. As I follow you in the faith, power in every step I take. Sing more than a power. It's more than a feeling, more than a sign. I want your spirit at work in my life. This is the glory, God in my life, freeing the captives and giving them sight. It's all true. It's all you. More than miracles to me. Jesus, my everything. Everybody jump! And even when I feel spent, let my worship never end. You're worthy of the praise I bring. And if the signs don't come, God, you are still enough. You're more than miracle to me. It's all true. It's all you. More than miracles to me. Jesus, my everything. Sing it again. It's all true. It's all you. More than miracles to me. Jesus, my everything. Jump, jump. And if the signs don't come, God, you are still enough. You're more than miracle to me. And if the signs don't come, God, you are still enough. You're more than miracles to me. You're more than miracle to me.
All right, that's it. You guys are good.
Signs don't come, God, you are still enough. You're more than miracle to me.
in February already. FC Retreat is at the end of this month, and several of you guys, a lot of you guys have already registered, but here's the news. If you're not registered yet, you still have 2 weeks. So the time is winding down. If you give me like mom, dad, grandma, brother, I need to be registered. Go to harvestforonline.com of this month, and several of you guys, a lot of you guys have already registered, but here's something I want to let you know about F2. You still have 2 weeks. So the time is winding down. If you give me like mom, dad, grandma, brother, I need to be registered. Go to harvestforonline.com and several of you guys, a lot of you guys have already registered, but here's something I want to let you know about F2. You still have 2 weeks. So the time is winding down. If you give me like mom, dad, grandma, brother, I need to be registered. Go to harvestforonline.com and several of you guys have already registered, so here's something I want to let you know about you guys to learn. You still have 2 weeks. So the time is winding down. If you give me like friends of your dad, grandma, brother, I need to be registered. Go to harvestforonline.com and several of you guys have already registered, so here's something I want to let you know about you guys to learn. You still have 2 weeks. And then she just got baptized. That could be your friend. Yeah, we're afraid of that. We can clap our hands. Just by inviting, that could be your friend at F2. So don't just think, I need to register. Think, all right, I'm already registered, or I need to register, but I also need to make sure my friend comes too. Because you know, you have that person in your mind who's saying, ooh, I know I would love for them to come to church. Guess what? F2 is the best time for you to invite them. So I challenge you guys to do it. I know you guys love to be challenged. I know you guys will live up to it. So invite your friends. Tell them to register for F2. But right now, we're going to play a little game, all right? It's game time, and back by popular demand, we're playing a game that we played at church camp. We're playing a game that we played at High Hill this summer. It's called the TikTok Tussle. Oh, TikTok Tussle. Real simple. There's going to be 2 videos on the screen. One video is going to be a TikTok. The other one's going to be a TikTok. You're going to have to guess which one it had the most views. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's do guys versus girls. So I need one guy who feels like they know that they're good content. They can judge good content. One guy. Let's see. Come on up here. If you got that Carolina basketball, that's where my heart is, man. Carolina basketball. All right, now I need one girl who knows that TikTok content. You right here, they're saying you know it. So come on up here. All right, so it's real simple. We'll just judge. It'll be 1 or 2. But I want you guys to play along too. So we're going to say, if it's number 1, if you think it's number 1, you're going to raise your hands. If you think it's number 2, you keep your hands down. Real simple, okay? If you think it's number 1, raise your hands. We can practice it. Everyone does that. If you think it's number 2, keep your hands down. Simple enough? All right, let's watch this first video.
Cause you had a bad day, you take one down, you sing a sad song just to turn it around. You said you don't know, you tell me don't.
All right, what do we think? 1 or 2? 1, raise your hand. 2, keep your hands down. What do you think here? She says number 2. What do you think, my friend? 2. They both say 2. Are they right? It is number 1. 2 million views for the ones with a dog in the car. All right, you guys got that right? Anyone get that right? All right, let's go to the next one.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty.
love that song.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no.
All right, what do we think? 1 or 2? We think it's Baby on the Roomba or The Woman in the Mouse. What do you think? 1 or 2? What do you think? Number 1 over here. What do you think? They're both saying number 1. Let's see. Oh, not even close. Not even close. It's number 2. The Woman with the Mouse. Let's see what the next one is. Let's go on to the next one.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it
All right. Which one? 1, 2. What do we think? We're going to go with you first, my friend. What is it? He says number 2. Number 1. All right. So they're disagreeing. We'll see who it is. Number 2. All right. Guys got 1 point. You guys still got 0. Plenty of time to catch up. Let's see the next one.
Just take one look.
To me, that's got to be number 2. I think it's got to be number 2, but who knows? Let's hear. He's saying number 1. Do we think he's right? What are you saying? Number 2, she thinks. What do we think? Let's see it. Number 1. Woo. Ooh. It's all right. It's a tough game. We can do that. 40,000. 2.7 million for that one. Man. Let's go to the next one.
Light me up
What is going on?
the 4th of July. Whenever you're around, I always seem to smile, and people ask me how. Well, you're the reason why.
What was it?
Hamlet? Hamlet? You know you're in trouble. Don't play cute now. You know what you've done. You are in trouble and you know it. You're not supposed to eat the shoes. You're really not supposed to eat them. They're my shoes, buddy.
All right, that was I literally have no clue what happened at number 1. That looked crazy. What do you think? All right, she says number 1. What do you say, my friend? Number 2. All right, let's see. Oh no! Oh no! All right, all right. We're gonna get some new contestants up here. Hey, give it up for these guys. I need 1 guy, 1 girl. 1 guy, 1 girl, real quick. 1 guy. Come on up here. You right here. And then 1 guy. 1 guy. Back there. Yeah, come on up here, Adam. All right. So right now you're working with a handicap. You know, it's all right. I think we're at 3-0. But the good thing is that this one's for all the marbles, and it's worth 4 points. And you got to choose differently. You're going to pick first.
This is what a $500 firework looks like. She's lit! Let's go! Quick, quick, quick! What the?
Tell me pretty lies. Tell me that you love me.
All right, you get to choose first. All right. He said 2. That means you got to go with 1. Otherwise, you can't win. All right, so he's going to go with 1. Let's see what it is. It is 2. Give it up for the guys tonight. Yeah. Hey, but give it up for our ladies. They did good. They did good too. Thank you guys for playing. It's a hard thing knowing what people on TikTok like, but apparently the guys know tonight just a little bit better than the girls. But guess what? Right now it's time for episode number 4 of Blow Your Mind time.
All right, if you guys would stand up with us, we're going to continue in worship. All right, hands up. I was nowhere, you came to my rescue from the grave I've been made. When I needed a savior to save me, Jesus, you made a way. I was blind, but these eyes have been opened. Now I walk in the light. Every step of this road I will follow. Jesus, you made a way. You are the way. You are the way. Lost in debt, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Sing it again. You are the way. Lost in debt, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, the only way. Everybody jump. All right, hands up. All my days are secured in your promise, never standing alone. You're the truth, you're the light, you're my future. Jesus, you made a way. I'm alive in the love that you give me, free to dance once again. You will lead me from glory to glory. Jesus, you made a way. Sing it out. You are the way. You are the way. Lost in debt, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Sing it again. You are. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. All right, hands up. All right, I'm gonna count to 4, and when I get to 4, I want to see all you guys go crazy. Are you ready? Let's go! Here we go! In 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we sing it again. 'Cause you are the way. You are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Sing it again. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, the only way. Can we give our God a shout? All right, you guys may be seated.
All right. The year was 1993, and I was a strapping 7th grade young man. And I was on my way to become one of the greatest percussion players that Floyd Henson Junior High had ever had. The greatest. I'd been playing in band for all of 6 months by that time. I just learned how to play the snare drum, and I was like skying high in my talents and my abilities, okay? And then we got invited to play in the state's band concert, where we would take our junior high band to the capital of Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, and we would perform 2 songs and be rated on those songs. Now, mind you, we had one of the best bands in all of Southern Illinois. Every year, our band got the superior rating. You know what that means? We were superior to all the other bands. Yes. And as a percussionist, they always give the best roles to the best players, and that particular competition, I got assigned the triangle to play in the band. Now, you may look at the triangle and think, that's not that great of an instrument, but we were playing a song called the Triangle Concerto. That's right, there was a triangle solo in the song. A triangle solo in this song. And I was assigned to play the triangle at the state capitol in front of all the judges. And I practiced at home. I practiced a lot, and I was amazing at that one note that I was supposed to play. Was that good? Did you like that? Was that pretty good? Yeah. So it was awesome when we finally got to the Capitol. Our band had 2 songs to play. We played one of them. We did a great job. And then came the time for the piano concerto. And I'm nervous. I'm the 7th grade boy. I've got like sweat pouring down my head. There's 60-some people in our band. We just traveled 2 hours. And I'm like, I have to nail this. And then the band director stands up in front of us. He clicks his little thing on the stand. Who's in band? Who knows what that means? It means get ready, we're getting ready to party. That's what that means. And the flutes raised up their thing, the clarinets raised up their thing, the tubas put on their thing, and I held my thing. And I was ready to go. Now, I don't remember how the song went, but it was something like, dun, 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 dun. And everybody in the band would stop, and I was supposed to do the dun, 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 something like that, okay? The time came, and I'm counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and dun, 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 dun. And I missed my opportunity to hit it on the right note. But man, we kept trucking along. But I began to sweat even more. I'm like, maybe they didn't notice. Maybe nobody noticed. We finished the competition. We all got back into the school bus, and the band teacher had this manila envelope with our ratings on it, on how we did compared to everybody else. He pulls out the rating of the piano or the triangle concerto as we're driving home on the school bus, and he says, Triangle Concerto, 2nd place. The triangle player missed his note. And he said that in front of everybody on the bus. And I'm sitting there just staring at the band director, and then all of a sudden everybody in the bus does this. For the first year in many years, we did not get a superior because I failed and I messed up the opportunity to hit it one time when I was supposed to hit the triangle. And it was very frustrating. But here's what I've realized. I'm a failure. I fail a lot. That should be expected of me. There's very little things in this world that I get right all the time. And I don't know if anybody else in here is a failure. Any failures in the room? Woo-woo, give me a woo-woo. Who here has never failed? Who's never failed in their life? Liar. Now, here's what I want you to know. We've been talking all month long about this idea, that if you want to grow your faith, there's some things that you should probably start doing, and there's probably also some things that you should probably stop doing. Has anybody made a commitment to start doing something new to stretch their faith? I have as well. I've decided to start doing something. I know some of you have decided, I'm going to read the Bible every single day. Anybody decide they're going to start reading the Bible? Anybody decide, I'm going to start praying more often? Anybody decide, I'm going to show up to middle school life group more often than I did last semester? All right. Anybody decide, I'm going to just be a better person? I'm guessing a lot of you have decided to do something. And if you're like me, this is your fear. What if I mess it up? What if I stood before God and I promised him that I was going to read more, I was going to pray more, but what if I fail? What will God think of me? Will God look at me? Will he turn his head and be like, I can't believe you. You disappointed me. You're a failure. And a lot of us, we think that of God, but here's what I want you to know as we wrap up this series. It's this truth, that you can stretch your faith even when you fail. You can stretch your faith even when you fail. In fact, one of the biggest failures in the Bible was a guy named Paul. And that's crazy to say out loud because Paul was also one of the biggest heroes in the Bible. Other than Jesus himself, Paul probably has the most influence over the way that we think about Christianity, the way that we worship Jesus. Paul has the most influence other than Jesus, and yet he was probably one of the biggest failures, and he actually admitted it. He actually admits it. So if you look at this verse in Romans chapter 7, there's 2 verses from Romans I want to show you. And this is how Paul describes his failure. He says this. He says, I don't really understand myself, for I want to do what's right. Anybody want to do what's right? All right? Paul says that too. I want to do what's right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I... That's a bad word in my house. You're not supposed to say that one. That's why I didn't say it. I do what I hate. He goes on to say this in the very next verse. He says, I don't really understand myself, for I do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. And then the next verse, let's go to the next verse in Romans. He says this, I have discovered this principle of life. He says, this is a reality of life for all of us. That when I want to do what is right, I inevitably do what is wrong. Anybody feel that before? That's somebody who met Jesus face to face saying, I want to do what's right for Jesus, but inevitably, I end up doing what's wrong. And so Paul actually goes in prayer to Jesus saying, Jesus, like, take this away. Jesus, make me perfect. Jesus, make me perfect. Jesus, make me perfect. And this is what he says he got a response from Jesus about. Let's look at this passage in Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, he says, 3 different times I begged the Lord to take this failure away. And each time Jesus said, my grace is all you need. Now read this next line with me. My power works best in weakness. Let's read it one more time. My power works. Here's what Jesus told Paul. When you are weak, then I get the spotlight on me. That's what Jesus told Paul. Paul, those moments where you fail, that's when I get the spotlight on me. Paul was being told by Jesus that Christianity, now listen to me, Christianity is not about becoming the best. Christianity is about Jesus being the best. And here's what Jesus loves. Those times where we say, Jesus, I wanted to read my Bible every day, I wanted to pray more, but I didn't do it yesterday. I haven't done it in a week. There's been times where I haven't picked my Bible up for a week. And like this old part of me used to think, Jesus hates me, he's disappointed in me, he hates that I would do this, and then I would be afraid to go back and read my Bible because I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to come back in prayer with you because I'm afraid that you're mad at me right now. So I don't know if any of you guys have friends that are mad at you right now, but typically when you have a friend who's mad at you right now, there's like this silence between you, isn't there? That's how I feel when I fail Jesus. But what Jesus tells Paul is, Paul, when you mess up, when you fail, that's when I look like the better person. That's when I get the spotlight on me. There's actually this story of these 2 brothers who are runners. Any runners in the room? Anybody like running? Anybody like running? All right, we got some runners. There's a story of these 2 brothers. They're called the Brownlee brothers. And they were 2 guys who, they ran triathlons together all over the world, and they were 2 of the best runners in the entire world. Now, the older brother, his name was Johnny. Johnny had never won a triathlon before. And then 2016 came along. Johnny's running miles after mile after mile. This is in Cozumel, Mexico. And he's mere yards away from crossing the finish line. And actually, let me show you a video of it, and you can see what happened for yourself. Check out this video.
Johnny Brownlee has done what he needed to do, dealt with the heat, got away in the breakaway, and it was very easy to anticipate that you might have been looking at Mario Mola and Richard Murray in that lead pack when so many men came out of the water together.
Schoonman and Alistair Brownlee with nothing between them. It's going to be a dart for the line between those 2. But either way,
yeah,
it's going to be Johnny Brownlee's world title. And Mona will be so disappointed.
And Johnny Brownlee, I think he might have just fallen. He is in massive trouble. Who would have thought that Johnny Brownlee, he is 400 meters from the finishing line and he does not know where he's at. Johnny Brownlee may not make the finishing line. He's looking over his shoulder. He is desperately in trouble. Just get him some fluid here. He cannot be helped. I don't think I've ever seen this. Let's see if Alistair stops. Johnny Brownlee is not going to finish this race. Alistair's come. He's got him. I have never seen this before. Henry Schoonman is going to win this race because Alistair Brownlee has stopped for his brother. Henry Schoonman is onto the blue carpet. The 2 Brownlees are coming with less than 150 meters to go. They could get caught from behind because it is not that big of a gap. Schoonman, the Olympic Games bronze medalist, will claim the grand final. And we got to look at this carpet because it could be Richard Murray making the work around. Coming down the 2 Brownlees, it'll be Richard Murray on the blue carpet in just a few seconds. This is absolutely insane. Here comes Richard Murray. The 2 Brownlees are trying desperately to get across the line. Johnny Brownlee is second. It'll be 3rd across the line, Alistair Brownlee. And then can Mario Mola be 4th? Wow, that is the most insane last few 100 meters of racing. You could just see that Johnny Brownlee was in big trouble. We knew heat was the problem for the Brownlees. Ali was a little wiser and he just threw his brother across the line. Go! He threw him across the line in second. Johnny in second. running on the nice part of the pavement.
Guy in the green, his name was Henry from Russia. He's the one who eventually pulled ahead, got first place and won the race. But what I found interesting was that Johnny's brother, Alistair, who would have won that race, he was beating Henry, he was beating the guy in the green. He stops and he picks up his brother and runs his brother to the finish line. And instead of getting first himself, or even second, Johnny pushes his brother in front of him and allows him to cross to get second place, and he took third place. And I got to imagine that Johnny just felt like a failure after that. Like, man, what did I just do? But can you imagine the joy of knowing that even in failure, he still finished? And why did he finish? Because he had a brother who helped him cross the finish line. And here's the reality of Christianity, and this is what I want you to know. The reality of Christianity is that none of us cross the finish line alone. None of us cross the finish line of our own strength. The only way we ever get across the finish line is because we have a man named Jesus who lifts us up and carries us across the finish line and sacrifices himself so that we can cross the finish line as well. Now, what I love about this series is that a lot of us are having conversations that are a little bit deeper than just, average, everyday conversations. And I know some of you are having these kind of conversations with your mothers, your fathers, your friends, maybe your small group leader, of what does it look like for me to do something that takes a step towards Jesus? And I know some of you guys are having conversations about baptism. In fact, I know we just had a baptism today, right before middle school life group, which I'm really excited about. We had one last week, and I know some of you guys are in the middle of those conversations right now. But I also know this. There's a lot of you who want to have that conversation about following Jesus, but you have this mentality or this mindset of, man, I can't start following Jesus, or I can't be baptized until I become a stronger person. Once I have all the questions in my head answered, then I can start following Jesus. Once I don't have any more doubts, then I can follow Jesus. Or once I stop sinning, then I can follow Jesus. Or once I understand all of the Bible, then I can follow Jesus. But the reality is, when you are weak, then Jesus is strong. So this idea that you have to become stronger to follow Jesus, that's a misconception. And I think that's a lie from Satan. It's the way that Satan keeps you from following Jesus. Satan is whispering in your ear and saying, hey, not yet. You don't want to be a failure, do you? Hey, don't let anybody know that you want to start following Jesus and start praying to Jesus. You don't want to be a failure, do you? Hey, don't be baptized until you get your life together. You don't want to let down Jesus, do you? You know what I love about the picture of baptism? Baptism is this reality. This is what baptism is. Baptism is an admission that you're a failure. And it's also the doorway to grace. The picture of baptism is that you go down into the water. You know who makes that decision to go down to the water? Who makes that decision? Who makes it? You do. Does your parent make that decision? No. Does your grandma make that decision? Does your small group leader make that decision? Does your pastor make that decision? No. And you know why? Because you are the one who has to look Jesus in the eye and say, I can't do it anymore. I'm too weak to cross I'm too weak to be good. I'm not good enough to go in this. And so, Jesus, I admit that I have failed. And that's the picture of baptism. That's why we go down into the water. It's this image of us going down into a grave and saying, I've failed and I deserve to lose. I deserve to die. And in the midst of us going down into that water, what comes next? You rise out of the water. And the symbol of that is not that you get out of the water yourself. It's someone who lifts you up. And that person is symbolic of what Jesus does for you. That when you admit, Jesus, I'm a failure, and you lay back and you put yourself down, Jesus comes and grabs you up and says, but I have grace. Welcome into my grace. And grace is this idea that even when you're weak, you get the reward of the one who is strong. Even when you're weak, that's when Jesus appears to be strong. What I love about that video is at the end of that race, one person was interviewed. Do you know who was interviewed? It wasn't Henry, the guy who won the race. It wasn't the brother, the one who collapsed on the ground. It was the one who got third place. There was a spotlight that was shined on him because he looked strong in the midst of two other people finishing in front of him. And that's the image of baptism. It's saying, Jesus, this isn't about me. This isn't about my group. This isn't about applause. This is me going down into the waters, admitting that I am a big, huge failure so that you get the glory of being the one who's perfect, the one who's good, and the one who's strong. So we're going to sing one more song. Tara's going to lead us in this song, and what we want to give you the opportunity to do during this song is to admit that you're a failure. And specifically, here's what I want to give you the opportunity to do. For those of you who are having the conversation about, you know what, I've never been baptized, I believe in Jesus, and I've never taken that step to be baptized, if you're having that conversation with your small group leader, if you're having that conversation with a parent, or maybe you're having that conversation with yourself and you've never just spoken it out loud to someone, during this next song, this is your opportunity to come up and admit to the world that you're a failure and you need Jesus and you need him to be the one who's perfect. So at any point in this song, come up, grab the triangle bar, and give the triangle a ring, and then you can be seated. Let's stand and let's sing this song together.
Speak to me. You're the only voice I wanna hear. Walk with me and show me who you are as I draw near. If you're not in it, I don't want it, and let all else fade away, and take the whole world, but give me Jesus, and let all else fade away. Satisfied, you're the only one my neighbor, I don't want someone to see me right now going up there, it's embarrassing, anything like that. I want you to remember what Nicole's talked about and how we all need someone to lift us up. We all are not strong enough on our own. So I don't want you to be afraid, I want you to be bold and come up right now. Your name is the only thing that matters. Your heart is all that I desire. And don't want it, and let all else fade away. Take the whole world, but give me Jesus, and let all else fade away. Let all else fade away. Let all else fade away.
Hey, can we give it up for Pastor Nokomis? Thank you for coming to speak. So a lot of you guys just came up here. You rang this triangle. You made a decision that I'm a failure, that I'm ready to step out and accept His grace, because His power is strong in my weakness. When I fail, His power is strong, just like He was saying. So we're going to take this to small group. This is what I would love to do, is take this discussion, the decision that you just made, to small group. So when you get there, you're going to be given a card that looks a lot like this screen right here. It says, My Stretch. I was going to ask you to make a commitment to grow, to stretch in an area. Have things like showing up, following Jesus, loving God, loving others, asking questions. So I want you guys to check off one of those, and underneath it has some lines on it too for you to write. What I would love for you to do is to be a little bit more specific about the check mark. Maybe say what in this series, what commitment you made this series, or what new thing you tried this series, or what new thing you're adding on to the faith, or even last week when we talked about what did you let go of. So I want you to do this when we go to small groups, to make a commitment, because a lot of you guys have already been baptized, right? A lot of you guys already made the decision, and you're saying, what am I supposed to do? I've already been baptized. Do I make the commitment again? No, the thing is that His grace is already there for you. That you've already accepted it. His grace is there for you right now, and all you got to do is say, God, I messed up. I'm ready to come back to you, and guess what? Every time, just like Nokomis was saying, His arms are wide open, ready to welcome you back. So what we're going to say, what we're going to do in small group, we're going to make this commitment and be ready to tell God that, hey, man, we failed, but we're ready to be back. We're ready for you to welcome us back, and we're ready to make a commitment to follow you. So my encouragement is, if you have decisions on your mind, if you rang that bell and you said, there's things that I need to do, make sure you talk about it with your leader. Bring that home. And I know several of you are still thinking about that baptism decision. Make sure you bring that up. Talk about that in your groups. One more time, let's give it up for you guys. Come up here. Let's give it up for you guys. Pastor Nokomis, for the team. But like we said, we're really excited about the things that God is doing in this room, and I know you guys are too. So we want to end on a high note. We're going to end with one last worship song, and we're going to want you guys to get up on your feet and jump up and down. You guys ready to do that? Let's go.
God, you are still enough. You're more than miracles. To me, it's all true. It's all you. cash out tonight. All right, you guys are dismissed. Have a good group.
Fix your mouth to try to diss 'em. I can rearrange your teeth like novice dentist. Snap like Thanos, turn to dust my competition. But I preach non-violence, so I just dismiss them. Ocean all my flows, I wear all my gold. Two can't sell my chain, you just follow your nose. Cross your like Kyrie, I'm so grimy, leave slimy. Size of my foes, next to greatness, they look tiny. Ooh, yeah, ayy. All y'all look like steak. Ooh, yeah, ayy. I'm finna finish my plate. This ain't even a game, it's a dinner date. Crush my competition, watch me dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate.